Binge Watchers, where we talk about the stories and characters we love and the shows they live in. My name is Ron. Let's talk about Doctor Who. Let's do it. Let's talk about Twice Upon a Time, the Season 10 Christmas special. So I needed this one to be good. Season 10 had some good moments in it, but I didn't think that it was a good season overall. It didn't do justice to Capaldi's Doctor or Bill, both of whom I loved. But Season 10 started out strong and just fell apart along the way. And then at some point it just felt like the writer was just trying to show us how clever he is. Which is great. Even the biggest Moffat haters will agree that he is clever and he's a good writer. He's written some really good standalone adventures. But when it comes to arcs and referencing his own work, it kind of all breaks down. And clever writing is great, and I love it when it works with the story and the characters. I don't love it when it's just like, hey, did you get that? I did a clever thing. Did you get it? Did you get it? And Doctor Who is big for me and for many other fans as well. It feels like more than a show, which is also why I don't really talk about it all that much in this channel, because it's always harder for me to call it out when it's being bad. Bad Doctor Who, bad! I wasn't a huge fan of The Last Jedi. I thought that from a storytelling and structure perspective, it was a very messy movie with a lot of really good ideas that weren't very well executed. And I was talking to a friend of mine who's a huge Star Wars fan, and that movie just made him so happy. The problems that I had with that movie just didn't matter to him, or he saw them differently or from another perspective. He experienced it in a way that I can't really, because Star Wars was never a big deal for me. But it did make me realize that that's a lot like how I feel about Doctor Who. A really good Doctor Who story can make me happy, and it will have a big impact on me because of my relationship with the show. And I know a lot of other fans feel the same way. So when Season 10 didn't feel like a good send-off for Capaldi's Doctor and the finale wasn't great, I felt like I needed the Christmas special to be good, and it was good. Yes, yes, yes. And now, ladies and gentlemen, ladies of gentlemen, is that really what I said? That's not what I meant to say. Obviously, I meant to say ladies and gentlemen. Ladies of gentlemen sounds really, really bad. Back to the video. Of Binge Watchers, I will go into spoilers. Spoilers ahead, because let's be honest, when a show is at Season 10, you don't need an opinion on a single episode to decide if you're gonna watch it or not. You have already taken the plunge. So just like The Last Jedi, there are things in this episode that I can nitpick as not really great things, and I am not above nitpicking. It's just hard for me to do when it's Doctor Who and when the episode overall was great and it hit all the notes I wanted it to hit. The only thing I wasn't a big fan of in the episode was how they handled Bill. There's no doubt that Bill needed to be in the episode. This is the farewell episode for this Doctor, and the companion needs to be there. But they also made this whole thing about Bill becoming an awesome space water alien in the Season 10 finale, and here it felt like they kind of threw all of that out the window. It's like they didn't really plan this out, and they just said, oh shit, we actually need Bill back, but we can't bring back the actual Bill so soon because we did a whole thing about sending her off, so let's just do her memory projection thing. Because testimony takes your soul at the moment of death, and Bill died as a human, and now she's something else. Whatever, it's Doctor Who, let's just do it. So I think they either needed to do something different in the Season 10 finale with Bill, or use her less in the special. I don't know. This must be why I'm not a writer for Doctor Who. But other than that, the episode focuses on the first Doctor, played beautifully by David Bradley, and 12, and how they are both dealing with their fears about regenerating. They sort of retconned the first regeneration so that time stops and the first Doctor has this adventure with 12 and then goes back when it's time. I thought it was very tastefully made, and I thought that things like this, when they work, are just part of the charm and beauty of this crazy, ridiculous show. The chemistry between Capaldi and Bradley was fantastic. There's obviously a lot of banter throughout the episode, which they pulled off beautifully. I loved that on the one hand, the first Doctor is this old racist grandpa, but on the other, he's actually younger and understands less about the universe. They have a lot of fun with that, and so did I. I love that when he walks into the much older version of his own TARDIS, he asks 12 if he drank some of the brandy, and 12 is like, yes, I might have snuck a glass somewhere in the last 1500 years. The whole story with the World War I captain I thought was fine. He was actually a surprisingly deep character for a one episode supporting role. I really like the whole thing with him being ready to die, but then sort of losing his resolve when the moment sort of passes, because he had this glimpse of hope that he'd been rescued, and I love that the Doctor ends up saving him because that's the Doctor thing to do. He couldn't handle just sending someone off to his death if he could help it, so he uses the Christmas armistice to save who we learn to be Papa Lethbridge Stewart, who will spawn a legacy of nepotism. The Christmas armistice was a real thing. Probably not like this, with American and German soldiers singing and holding hands and kicking a ball around like in a field of dead bodies, but it was maybe the best use of Christmas in a Christmas special. Because whenever it's not on Earth, it always feels really forced to me, like it doesn't really matter for the episode that it's Christmas, but here it really mattered because it saved this guy's life. I love that. And of course, the regeneration, we had to say goodbye to Capaldi. I loved Capaldi's Doctor, and after season 10, I felt that he needed at least one more season, but it was time, and I think it was a beautiful send-off. We always get the speech, but here it was like bits and pieces from other regenerations. It had a little bit from each of the new Doctors, which felt very fitting, since this is a new era for the Doctor. We have a new showrunner, we have the first female Doctor, we'll get a new companion. We just need to wait like 5 million years for it. So bottom line, I loved it. I can't wait for season 11. I can't wait to see what they have in store. I'm excited for the new Doctor. This Christmas special made me and my own little TARDIS here very happy. And I think this might be the first video I'm uploading in 2018. So Happy New Year, everybody. I wish you an amazing year of binge watching fantastic new TV shows or old TV shows.
Never be cruel, never be cowardly. And never ever eat pears. Remember, hate is always foolish, and love is always wise. Always try to be nice, but never fail to be kind.
And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps out a lot. You can find me on the socials. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram or TV Time. You can also join our Discord server where we chat about TV, and it's a lot of fun. You can find the links to everything in the description. And if you're finding binge watchers for the first time, welcome. I'd like to invite you to join the binge watchers community. Come talk about TV with us. It's a lot of fun. Subscribe to the channel. But in any case, keep binging, and I will see you next time. Sweet child of Mary.